You guys see that? There we go. Yes. Just cop this on the Game Boy, alright? For those who know, you know, I don't need to explain any further. Hey, welcome back, man. So much has happened since we last met. I mean, I look different, you know what I'm saying? Just had to do it for the one time, only for the one time. What I really want to talk to you guys today, just to make it brief, is something very, very simple, but it just needs to be reinforced by just everybody. Sometimes the simple things just need to be fortified through just repetition, you know? And that is simply just, you got to love yourself first in all things. What does that entail? Me moving, to Boston required that I already loved myself. And if I didn't love myself, this move and this journey to live in a city that's very far away from home, away from family, it would have been very tough. And I'd probably most likely not made this journey or made this, stay that long, because the things you have to deal with going to a new place is very uncertain. And through that, you can either be met with immediate gratification, with the city being everything you could ask for, or you could be met with a lot of just isolation. There's days I feel like I'm just in a sea of loneliness, right? And what could be a product of being lonely is like, self-doubt. Me moving to Boston made me realize, dang, there is more to love than what meets the eye. You see, when you're a kid, I deal with kids very often, and you kind of make friends for your own survival, right? You're in the schoolhouse, and a lot of stuff is going on. You're in a place full of just a bunch of random kids in the neighborhood, and they come from all different backgrounds in their house, and they act however they would like to act in the schoolhouse sometimes. And all you want is to be a comfortable and fun experience, right? A lot of kids. But you kind of put yourself to the side when you do that, right? Some kids assert themselves onto other kids by always making jokes, doing practical pranks or whatever, and basically invading somebody's personal space. Sometimes that's invited, right? If there is some type of reciprocity or an agreement, like, okay, this is how we play around. But oftentimes kids kind of just do things just to get along. They may not know that's what they're doing, but they don't look forward all the time to those kids asserting themselves just so they feel comfortable, right? And the reason why that keeps happening, why this thing is perpetuated, is because unfortunately those kids don't have a lot of self-evaluation to be like, do I actually like when that happens? Would I be happier if that didn't happen, or if it didn't happen as much, right? A lot of kids don't think about it, right? And so it happens until what happens? Those kids blow up every time. They get really angry. And that's part of your own self-loving, your self-evaluation. What do I like? How do I take care of myself? And that takes a long time. I'm not saying those are things that you learn immediately, but over time you realize, hey, I don't like it when someone is screaming at 8 a.m, right? Even if it's around me. I don't like when I'm actually trying to hear something, there's someone making a joke or trying to tell me something, all these things. And that applies not just in school, but in other areas, right? Like, if you love yourself, you kind of understand what makes you, what you like and what you want, right? Secondly, loving yourself, is everything to do with just what's good for you, right? What is good for you? Sometimes the good thing is an immediate thing. Sometimes the good thing is something that happens, I don't know, a little bit later, but it's still overall a good thing. I think one thing that is understood is there are times where you don't need to take a risk in a way, but loving yourself gives you this firm foundation and that like I am grounded with who I am. I know what I want. I take care of myself enough that even through uncertainty, I can give myself an outlet to be safe because I'm secure in myself. I give myself that security, right? If that makes sense. Because one thing in life has a very certain thing. There are many certain things in life. They say death, taxes, but the third thing that is certain in life, the most certain thing in life, is uncertainty. Things that go off script, things that you were not expecting, things that you wouldn't fathom happening, those will happen. I think being more exposed to uncertainty gives you more certainty. Being around things that are changing makes your brain be like, okay, snap, something's changing. What do I got to do? Okay, boom, 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 boom. Something's changing. What do I normally do when things are changing? All right, I analyze the situation. You do things to make yourself adapt. But if you always just tell yourself, hey, I don't got to deal with none of that, you don't make those risks. And it's also saying like, I don't have it in me to adjust to this change, and so therefore I will not accept this risk. I'm saying this from a person who is like, I play it pretty safe, but you just have to decide like at some point in time, this playing safe is actually unsafe. Me staying in this situation is actually much worse than me like actually going further, right? So I'll leave it at that. This was just a really good video to just start off after a long time of not doing this. But please watch my old videos. Yo, I've been going crazy with the animations. Please watch the animations on my YouTube shorts. And also check out my animations on my Instagram. In my bag _617. So please, please, please. Just please love yourself first and foremost. And love yourself so that you can take those risks. The security that you have within yourself is necessary for the next step. So, thank you.